make an app, Mole Mash, in the MIT App Inventor. Here, you'll be hitting moles to score points. So first, let's open MIT App Inventor and let's click on the Create Apps button. We'll have to log in an account and then we will go to the apps page. So last time we had made the sensors app using the pedometer sensor, not the pedometer, the proximity sensor. So this time we are going to make mole match and here we'll be using the clock sensor. As I told you the last time, clock sensor is used to set a timer or to give the time using the phone's or the device internal clock. So we'll name this project as Mole Mash and then from the drawings and animation, we'll remove the canvas and put it over here. And we'll set its height to 300 pixels and width also to 300 pixels. It will cover almost the full screen and there will be a little space left below and we'll keep the score and the reset button over there. So let's just remove a label for user interface so we can put it as score colon minus minus. Then next we are gonna put a button, reset button. We'll name this button. We'll keep the text changes as reset and now we'll rename all the components. So the canvas should be renamed as my canvas without any space in it. The label one should be renamed as core label without any space. And the button should be renamed as reset button without any space. Now we are going to add the sound component and name it as noise. So sound we'll find it in the medium and we're gonna put it here. So this is invisible component and it will go here. We are gonna name it as noise and this is gonna vibrate the phone. Now your screen should look like this. Now we'll even be adding the clock timer from the sensor and we'll rename it as mole timer. You have to keep a space between it and we'll be keeping it as 500 so that the mole image moves every 500 seconds here and there. Now to add the mole we'll use a sprite. So what are sprites? Sprites are images which can move on the screen within a canvas here and there. So there are some properties of the sprite like each sprite has a speed and a heading, and also an interval that determines how often the sprite is gonna move at its designated speed. Second property is the sprites can also detect when they're touched. So when we touch the sprite, the mole will detect it, and then it will send a score to the variable. So in the mole mash game, the mole has speed 0, so it won't move by itself. So let's put this sprite and we are going to put the image sprite and we cannot put it outside the canvas. We'll have to put it inside the canvas only. Now first we'll do the settings and then we'll add the image. So enabled will be ticked, interval should be 500, heading should be 0, speed should be 0.02 and visible should be checked. Now let's go to height and width, it should be automatic. After this our screen should look like this. Now the X and Y values in the property tags are dynamic. So if you move this, it will change. If you move here, it will change here, 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 and it will change every time you move it on the screen. Now, we are going to go to the blocks and at the end we'll add the picture. So, here we are going to define a function move. I mean move mode. Move mode. And I guess I wrote it right. Yeah. Next, we are going to go to the move sprite. Oh, we forgot to rename it. And so we as mole sprite. Next, let's go to the blocks. And I had put this. Now let's go to mole sprite. Scroll down and set mole sprite dot width to. We'll duplicate it because we need the same block. Set mole sprite dot height to. Now width and height. I'm sorry, but we have to put x and y. I was kidding. X and y. Two. We'll go to maths, and then we have to put into. And in the second block of into, we have to put minus. So we'll just copy it again because we have to put the same thing. You don't know that. Okay, now we are going to put here random fraction. That means any number. You must know that. Duplicate and put it here. Next, go to my canvas. My canvas dot width, and it's here. Let's export it. Oh, it popped out. I mean, it should not pop out. It should be like this. My canvas dot width, and then duplicate, and it will be here. More sprite dot width, but you can use it here, of course. Height, yes. Now we'll subtract this by more sprite dot width and height. Duplicate, put it here, and this will become height. Okay, so this is our first line of code. Next, we'll put a variable initialize global score to. Now what will we initialize it? We'll initialize it to 0 because we'll start the game from 0. Next, we are gonna program the mole timer. So when mole timer the timer do call move mole. So when the mole timer is working, it will put a timer and it will call move mole. And how much is the timer for? The timer is for 500 milliseconds. That means half a second. So every half a second, it will go to random position. Now, let's code button. So when reset button dot click do. So what will we do when we click the reset button? So we'll set global score to 0 because it needs to be resetted. You cannot continue the game from the same place. So imagine if I had 10 points, I reset it and I again start from 10 points. That's not the thing. Next, we have to put a function and we put that function not move more, but that's another function to update score. Let's program that first to update curve. Let's put that here. So we have to call update score. Now what is inside update score? We have to set score label dot text to join. We have to join two phrases that I use join score and global get score. So let's use case get global score and we go to text here and score to be a score. We'll call update score and it will set it to 0. You get to know it. Now you're gonna calculate. I mean you're gonna code it. So when most sprite dot touched, what will we do when it's touched? So then it's a big code. We'll set global score to yeah. We'll set global score to some addition problem. And let's check what's that. 1. So here we have 1 and here get global score. With global score plus 1. Now we'll call noise dot vibrate milliseconds. So we have to go to noise dot vibrate milliseconds. How many milliseconds? It will vibrate for 100 milliseconds. A small vibration. If you want to keep it longer, you can put it 1,000 so that it will vibrate for one. Next, we are going to call update score again so that we can update the score again and again and put the correct text, and we'll even call move mode. So when we touch it, it will again move and the score will be updated. So this is the whole thing happening over here. Now let's test this on my mobile phone. So I'll go here, AI Companion, and then I'll. So let's open the MIT App Inventor, scan QR code, and let's scan the QR code. The QR code is gone. It's here. Let's scan it. Now on your laptop, it will show about 15%, then 20%, and then it will load. So now, oops, I forgot to add the picture. So let's add the picture now. And don't worry, I'll place this link in the description for you all to use. Now we have the image over here. Let's just save it, and then let's just add this image. There is an image. Oh, we have to put the sprite image, picture. Here we'll upload file, choose file, and then we choose small one. Okay, and then it's here. Ta-da! So now let's test this app on the mobile phone. The QR code. Let's just generate it by clicking on connect AI companion. It's generated. Let's scan it. It's over here. Now it is 15%, 20%, and then it will get connected. Now the mode is moving. Let's touch it. And it's difficult. The phone's vibrating and the score's changing. It's vibrating again. It's vibrating. Let's just catch it. I got 7 points. Now let's just reset it with 0. Attach it twice, thrice, 4 times, 5 times, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's running very fast. If you have to make it run more, you can set it as 250. So it will run every quarter second and it will become more difficult for the users to catch. You can add your own additions. So instead of a more picture, you can keep an elephant or anything you wish. You can keep a dog or a cat or anything. And you can make this app on your own wish. How much ever you want to edit it.